Okay, then what I do is I take these little vitamins and I cut them in half. You get a little slit right here. I get these at Sam's Club actually, but you can get the same thing as it's a little smaller in Walmart. Sam's Club, Walmart, same thing. I break them in half. 5 full vitamins become 10 half vitamins. And that's in case I miss any trace minerals or whatnot. Now I don't usually give these things every day. I'll do it every other day. I go in here and I get a big glop of lard, stick it in the middle for the proverbial cherry on the pie or whatever, and I stick it in here. And that's a pretty darn good meal for any dog. It's big, it fills him up, it gives him just about everything he could hope to have, and I've been doing this a long time and my dogs have continuously looked good. Is it the best raw diet in the history of the universe? I don't know, and I really don't care. It works, and it works very, very, very well. You might want to pull the rice out. You might want to substitute beef and a beef bone, or venison and a venison bone. You might want to put deer guts and chicken livers. You can do, there's no real rules to follow, but what I'm doing here is simple, and it's very, very effective, and it works. He's got a wide variety. It's certainly, if I took this same meal, just imagine this now, if I took this same meal and chopped it up into little bitty pieces and ground it up and then burned it till it's little dry pellets, even this meal would be dramatically diminished to worthlessness just about as a dog food. You know, scoop it out there. Again, the analogy I made comparing kibbles to wholesome foods. If I took this bowl, let's say, and I filled it up with kibble, and let's say I dumped it out in the grass, and then I took this and I dumped it out in the grass. Okay. As far as biological availability, that term we used earlier, what's biologically available, what the dog's able to utilize, digest, process so that a very small stool comes out of him, this is biologically available. It's more, most of it is raw. What's cooked is even the rice. This is still better for a dog than the rice that they put in a kibble. The rice that they put in a kibble is cooked till it's so hard and it's powdered, just powder in a ball. The meat that's here is completely biologically available. The egg, although it is cooked, the outside portion, the inside portion is still yolky. Maybe I cooked a little too much, but it's still moist. It's still moist. If I put this same egg in a kibble, you see eggs in kibble. Oh, that looks real good on the label, but the trouble is that's not what a little brown pellet is. Not what eggs look like. This is what eggs look like. So even when you're feeding kibble and you read all these wholesome ingredients on that kibble, remember, if I took this and burned it and made, I've ruined it. Kibble is essentially ruined and overcooked food. And they do it so that you could store it in a container. Can you imagine if I piled all this meat up in just a paper bag and left it against a wall or in a little trash, a little holding bin, and just left it at room temperature for a month? This would be pretty stinky within a day or so because it's biologically available. All these organisms are coming to devour it because the nutrients are all available. That's why things rot. That's what's called perishable. Well, when kibble is made, and again, I don't mean to go on a big anti-kibble tirade, but it's important to underscore the point, I believe. This is wonderful food for a dog, better than any kibble made by any manufacturer, I don't care who it is, because this is biologically available food. This is essentially what the very best kibbles are before the kibbling process. And what's more, if you have my book, the Dog Owner's Little Black Book, or the Pit Bull Bible, what's more is I've shown how you could make all of this for less than even the cheapest, most worthless kibbles there are. There simply isn't any excuse to feed kibble unless you are personally lazy, just too damn lazy to make your dogs the food. And I don't mean to be combative, but that's my opinion. That's my honest. I know it, because if somebody really cares about their dogs, they make them their food. I know if you had a baby, you're not going to feed them just little pellets. Here's your little pellets, son, or here's your little pellets, dear. You're going to try to give them good food. why not do the same thing for the dogs if you're serious about your dogs? I'm as serious as I can be about my dogs, and I want them to have good nutrition, and I'm sure you do too. I'm sure if you bought this, that's what you want. And what's really neat about this diet is, as I've presented in the book, you can actually do this for as cheap as the cheapest kibble, the worst of the worst. You can actually do it for about half the cost of very expensive kibble, Timberwolf and Innova and all that other gobbledygook. That's about $1.50 a pound for that stuff. This right here is about 60 to 80 cents a pound, depending on where you're at. So it's actually half as expensive as that, and about the same price as Ol' but it's a lot better for Ol'. And even though this presentation is taking a while, when I don't have a camera on me, I mix this stuff up pretty quick. And you can do it in segments, like I mentioned. You can do this at night, have that ready at night. Just, you know, you wake up in the morning, turn the rice on, boil you some eggs. Takes 5 or 10 minutes to get that done, and then blah blah blah. Set this out, fill up the bowls, and off go feed your dogs. It's pretty easy to do, but that's it. Now I'm going to show you the difference between. This is an adult diet for any type of adult. I'm going to show what I feed a stud dog. I'm going to add something to it in a moment. My little secrets for the stud dog, and I'm also going to show what kind of difference there's really only one difference I do for puppies versus adults, and I'll show that in just a second.